Have you ever stopped to think about what happens when your body's own internal alarm system just goes haywire? Well, today we're diving deep into an experience that can make you feel like your entire world is collapsing in a matter of minutes, the panic attack. We're going to break down what it is, why it feels so terrifyingly real, and what it means for the people who live with it.
Right, so your body has this amazing built-in alarm system. It's designed to protect you from danger. But what happens when that alarm starts screaming at full blast for absolutely no reason you can see? That sudden, intense, and totally confusing misfire? That's the very definition of a panic attack.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll kick things off with the unexpected storm, that out-of-nowhere feeling. Then we'll get into the body's false alarm and the mind under siege. After that, we'll look at what it's like living in the aftermath and finish up on a hopeful note with the path to calm.
All right, first up, an unexpected storm. This is all about how a panic attack can come out of a clear blue sky, which is a huge part of what makes it so disorienting.
So what are we really talking about here? A panic attack is basically a massive wave of intense fear that hits you like a ton of bricks. And the key word really is unexpectedly. It can happen when you're just chilling on the couch, driving your car, or even when you're sound asleep. That complete unpredictability is what makes it so incredibly frightening.
And you know what's wild? It all happens so fast. From that very first strange feeling to the absolute peak of terror, it can take just 10 minutes. Think about that. Going from 0 to 100 on the fear meter in the time it takes to brew a cup of coffee. That intensity is just everything. Now, that sudden fear unleashes this incredibly powerful physical response. We call this the body's false alarm. Your ancient fight-or-flight system just kicks into overdrive, flooding you with adrenaline for a threat that doesn't actually exist. Your body is gearing up for a huge battle that's only happening inside you. And this quote, wow. It just hits the nail on the head for so many people's first experience. And it is no exaggeration. The physical feelings are so real, so powerful, that it's incredibly common to be 100% convinced you're having a major medical emergency. And here's why that is. Your heart starts absolutely pounding out of your chest to get blood to your muscles for a fight that isn't coming. You can't catch your breath because your body's trying to get more oxygen. You get chest pain, you're shaking, you feel dizzy. It's all part of this huge, misplaced survival instinct. It's a whole cascade of terrifying, but, and this is important, ultimately harmless physical symptoms. And that's not all. You might start sweating, feel like you're going to be sick, or get this weird pins and needles feeling in your face and hands. Every new symptom just adds more fuel to the fire, convincing your brain that, yep, something is definitely, physically, very, very wrong. But look, a panic attack isn't just physical. At the exact same time all that is happening, your mind is completely under siege. This is where the terror gets dialed up to 11, as your brain frantically tries to figure out what's happening to your body, and usually jumps to the worst possible conclusion. In those few minutes, your mind is just gripped by these core primal fears, this overwhelming sense that you're about to lose all control, a deep-seated terror that you're literally going crazy, and for so many, the absolute certainty that you are about to die. And if that wasn't enough, your mind can feel totally disconnected from reality. You might experience what's called derealization, where the room around you suddenly feels fake or distorted, like you're in a dream. Or there's depersonalization, which is this bizarre feeling of being outside your own body, watching yourself go through this like you're a character in a movie. It's incredibly strange. Now, the most intense part of the attack might be pretty short, but the story is far from over when the physical symptoms finally fade. The aftermath, well, that can cast a really long shadow over a person's life.
So, objectively, the whole thing is usually over in about 10 to 20 minutes. I mean, it feels like an eternity while it's happening, of course, but it's a relatively short burst. The real challenge is what comes next.
And here's the kicker. The fear doesn't just switch off when your heart rate goes back to normal. The real problem becomes this lingering worry, this constant draining dread of, oh my God, when is it going to happen again? This fear of the fear is just exhausting, and it can completely change how safe you feel in your own world. And that dread, it often leads to this nasty, vicious cycle. First, you have the terrifying attack. Second, you develop this intense fear of having another one. So what do? Third, you start avoiding any place or situation that reminds you of it.
And slowly but surely, your world just starts to get smaller and smaller. So that brings us to our final and honestly most hopeful part of this, the path to calm. Because truly understanding these attacks is the first huge step toward managing them and getting back the parts of your life that fear might have taken away.
So, at what point does this become a disorder? Well, it's when the attacks keep happening and that fear of the fear starts to cause major changes in your life, like you stop going to work or you can't go to the grocery store. That's when it can develop into panic disorder. It's not just about having the attacks. It's when your life starts to revolve around the fear of them.
But the good news here, and it's really good news, is that panic disorder is very treatable. One of the best tools we have is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. Basically, therapy helps you see those catastrophic thoughts for what they are, a false alarm, not reality. It teaches you how to ride the wave of physical sensations without letting fear take the driver's seat. And that's often combined with medication and lifestyle changes to create a really solid path forward.
So we've walked through the storm, the false alarms, and the long aftermath. And what we've seen is that just knowing the signs in ourselves, in our friends, in our family is an incredibly powerful first step. It helps take the terror out of the experience. So that leaves us with one last question. Knowing all this is step one. What's the next one? Because whether it's learning more or talking to someone or just being there for somebody, that knowledge is where the real journey begins.